You can switch it off at the TV.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll say thank you all for coming. It's actually a pleasure to have you here to honor our invitation. So we appreciate you coming. So just to start with, just clap for yourselves for being here. Thank you very much. Okay. As you can see, we got our brother, our elder, our father, Changambiri Changambiri Manara Moponga with us. Excuse me. And also we have our mother, Mabukazi Aluko, with us. It's a series of events. Basically, we had a masterclass on Saturday where Changambiri took us through the 7 pillars of power, and that was powerful for those who were here. Who was at that event on Saturday? Okay, my sister, give us how was it? Let's start with that. What were your impressions on that? For those who missed it, just a brief recap.
Okay, you want me to speak in French and you are going to translate, is that?
I can't translate. Anybody can speak French?
Yes, so wonderful. My son. Okay. C'était un très bon moment.
It was a wonderful moment.
C'était un très bon moment. Il y a longtemps que je voulais voir le film Moponga.
So I was trying to see the King Moponga for a very long time.
Donc, et là, on a appris beaucoup de choses. On a fait beaucoup de choses et je pense quand même qu'à mon niveau, j'aimerais bien avoir le roi à Paris pour enseigner aussi à toute la population, surtout aux chrétiens, la nécessité de décoloniser le christianisme.
So we learned a lot, and I think that my level is very important for the people in Paris to see the king and learn about decolonization of our spirit.
Thank you very much. So our sister and her son come all the way from Paris for the event. So let's give them a round of applause. Okay, for today, it's an evening of revelation with Changambiri Manara Moponga. We're going to start off with the Imbira being played. And then we're going to have an interview with my brother over there. He's munching away. He's going to be interviewing Elder Moponga in terms of the difference between ancestral intelligence and artificial intelligence. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be very, very interesting. And once that's done, yours truly will be holding the mic. And if you've got any questions or anything that you think you want to ask Changambiri, this is your chance. So we're going to be holding a live question and answer session. So nothing off limit. Whatever you've been holding, something that you thought about, or something that your mother told you not to talk about, or it's a taboo. We don't do taboos here, guys. So please, once again, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. And we're just going to start with the Imbira session. Thank you very much. That was immense. That was powerful. Thank you. Okay, just to let you guys know, I say branch now, which is basically going to start from UK all across the world. So Farmers Author International, UK, obviously, is going to go all over the world. And then we have the Emerging Kebelen, which is our group, and also we have a sisters group, Makazi's group, Nations of Mother Earth. So it's a collaboration between all three organizations. Okay, the next event now is going to be the interview with my brother. He's busy eating over there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You want to say a few words before we start? Are you ready to go? Okay, let's do it. You want to come over? Let's do it. Because of time, people have been waiting.
You'll get in the way. You'll get in the way.
Oh, he's going to get
I will move.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence versus ancestral intelligence. This is going to be a very interesting conversation. So guys, yeah, let's do this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Moponga, Elder Brother Moponga. A pleasure and honor to see you again today. Saturday was a very informative and inspiring event. I'm honored with the do you want to just close and follow Moponga? I've been given the privilege of interviewing our elder.
Just a minute. Let's allow people to settle. Let's allow people to settle.
Thank you. So, a warm evening to all. Thank you for making the time to come down today to see our beloved Brother Moponga, causing all the right ripples in the conversation about African liberation, sovereignty, and doing for self. Honor is mine to interview him today. I've been given a very big agenda, as it were, but we will do our very best to get through them all as much as we can. So the theme we're talking about today generally, and I think it's a good idea for me to introduce myself. So for those who do not know who I may be, then you have a context. So my name is Dalian. Oh, yeah, it's fine. I think they can hear me. My name is Dalian Adofo. I am co-founder of an organization called Ancestral Voices. We've been going for some 15 years. We specialize in the academic and practical exploration of specifically African sacred cultural systems, ideas, and practices. And we've been going for some 15 years. And we were honored with Brother Moponga. He came, did a show with us on the 29th of September. So for those of you who may have missed that show, you'd like to catch up on that show, you have to go to ancestralvoices.co.uk. Those two words together, ancestral and voices.co.uk. So, Elder Brother Moponga, today's theme is generally concerning two things, because we had adaptations in the title. The first was ancestral intelligence versus artificial intelligence. And then out of that, we also have the same idea, which is ancestral codes versus artificial intelligence. Yes, and Elder Moponga, I'm not really going to try to lead the conversation. I think we should just have a synergy. Because for me, I think it's a good idea to even get an understanding of these words. Because when someone hears the word code, I think one of the first things that come into people's mind is a computer. Yeah? So would you like to elaborate, give us a bit more insight? Is that what we're going to be talking about today? Please, over to you.
Welcome one, welcome all. Little bit, raise it a bit. Welcome one and welcome all. What's so fascinating to me is what colonialism has done to you. You would rather refer to me as a brother. It's okay. I understand the frame where you're coming from. You are afraid of addressing me as a father, as traditional, as royalty. So brother, you must make me feel like I'm in a church. Brother Moponga, like in an Afrocentric space, where what qualifies you to call me a brother, but you are forgiven.
Thank you very much.
I'm in foreign lands, I will allow that to slide.
My sincere apologies.
That's okay. Conversation around intelligence. I'll start off with a very deep cut into the Eurocentric mindset, which has taught us to hate ourselves and appreciate what is outside of us. When the colonialist comes in, theologically, the African is barbaric. He's not a human being. Only until 1964, 65 did they actually agree that Africans are human beings. Before then, we were animals. They even cut one African to find out if they have a soul. You are not human. Stop acting like the white people have a sorry soft spot for you. You are a mystery to their worldview of the Caucasus Mountains. You are not human. Sarah Batman, a whole woman taken from Cape Town, displayed here in London and in France, looking at her anatomy and her bums and etc. She died in captivity and in torture. And then you say, Africans are barbaric. But look at your Victorian history. In London here, when all their clothes begin to increase the curvature of the African woman, to extend the lower abdomen into what they call the Victorian fashion. Who are they trying to emulate? The African woman. But in Paris, in their fashion, the coat hanger woman is the one that is marketable. But in real life, the broad-based, virtuous, voluminous woman is the real essence of what beauty is all about. So when you begin to talk about these issues of our acceptance into Eurocentric hegemony, they're all founded on disgrace, undermining the meaning of African values, personalities, anatomy, culture, practice, religion, spirituality, which in essence, that's what we are. And I passed the comment once, and I don't think many people understood me when I said, if we believe in God, and God is a problem with the feature of the African woman, the feature of the African man and his complexion, his culture and his practice, then this God you're talking about is not our God. Because how do you create an Indian, a Chinese, and an African, and you have a problem with this one? I don't want to hear his music. I don't want to hear his fashion. I don't want to see his women. I don't want to see his culture. And yet we believe that we are working in the same framework. So firstly, I'll start with you, that African, Asian, Indian, American, European, South American cultures need to understand the collage of life on this continent in its totality, from the Mongolians to the Khoisan, from the Aborigines to Peru, that each culture is seeking for spirituality within its own context. And no culture has a right of walking to another culture and imposing its importance and values on another as superior to those that are there. Therefore, the people in Zambezi Bessel can talk about Nyami Nyami, the great snake that is in the Victoria Falls, as much as the Aborigines can pick a doodle-doo and blow into the desert and speak to the God of the wind. I understand the God of the waters. You understand the God of the wind. I go to the Eskimos, the God of the snow and the ice. I go to the Amazon, the God of the forest. And in this conclusive environment where we tolerate each other, we begin to understand that the manifestation of divinity is not within one geographical location on the universal platform of where we live. But if you think that God is in the desert, I will introduce you to the God that is in the forest. If you think God is in the forest, I will take you to Papua New Guinea. I'll show you the God of the waters and in the oceans. And in the culmination, the conclusion, the interaction, the intersections of various global communities, can we understand, hear me well, that God does not have a passport. He does not need to take a passport from Britain to a good state in Edo. He does not need a passport to Ghana, to Zimbabwe, to Lesotho, to Swaziland, to Congo, to the Himba tribes in Namibia, where you can come around with a piece of paper and says, I'm introducing you to God. Spirituality, therefore, is an intrinsic interaction of humanity with the supernatural that is around them. How they interact with nature around them. Three elements, the Trinity, the water, the land, and the air.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. So, Brother Moponga, I'm going to stop there and apologize again. As you can see, this is the effect of that WhatsApp group. So please don't blame me. Blame those who put me in the WhatsApp group. They've given me the totally wrong appellation. Shangambiri Marara Moponga. Of course, as I was addressing you on the show. My apologies again. And let's say, again, this is a code. Yes? So what the elders just showed me there is a code. You don't go anywhere else and you just, as we have some people call their parents by their first name.
Maybe before we go very far,
please go on.
Can you all put your hands together? No. I'm not British. You wait for my instructions. You put your hands together, you make a sound, you make a sound, you make a sound, sound. 4 times. Let's go together. Those are the 4 ancestors on your father's side, grandparents. The 4 ancestors on your mother's side, maternal side. That gave you your mother, that gave you your father. 4 on the left, 4 on the right. 4 plus 4 equals 2? 2. Don't hurry because you're in my class. 4 plus 4 equals 2? 2. No, but mathematically, 4 plus 4 equals 2? 8. But you have your 4 grandparents that gave you your mother. You have your 4 grandparents that gave you your father. When the 4 tribes, clans came together, they give you the 2. And when 1 plus 1 equals 2? 2. 1. Wrong again. Equals to 1. That's you. So you have 4, 4, 8. That gave you 2. 1 plus 1. That gave you 1. That is you. So when we greet in African spaces, we go like this. I see you. I see you. When these came in contact with these, they gave me this. That was the door. If there's any woman in our midst, you know what this looks like. That gave me the door into my existence. And I am one. But I recognize those that are here. That has made this possible. This is African understanding of greetings. So when you say put your hands together, it's not just about putting hands together, it's putting tribes together, putting clans together, recognizing our ancestors through which we all have become. So no one here is one totem. All of us here have 8 totems each. 8. The blood that runs in you. 4 from your mother's side, 4 from your father's side, base 2. I wish I had computer literate people here who would understand the algorithm. That from the 8, I have the 2. And from the 2, I have the 1. So what you may call in the Western world here, bipolar, you are psychologically sick. There's no bipolar. It just depends which inclinations in your genealogy is manifested today. So I've said it once, I'll say it again. In me, I share a bed. Madness and genius, they share a bed. It just depends who wakes up first. And it looks like madness wakes up much earlier than genius. But having said that, you need to understand the manifestations in your physical world, that they are actually a reflection of your genealogical inclination. You had a grandmother who was a healer, you have a grandfather who was a potter, you have a grandfather who was a builder, you have a grandmother who was a midwife, with a grandfather who was a seer, and as you go through life, these intuitive geniuses manifest themselves. I could do a psychosomatic or a psychological profile on you as you dress up every morning. One of them is awake, it is alive, but you are not conscious. You are not conscious. Why are you putting on a green dress, a blue dress, a black dress, orange dress, a colorful dress? Why are you feeling like this today and like that tomorrow? Are you sick? But we've allowed the colonial world to interpret our world view as Africans. We are not as normal as they think we are. We are as diverse, as plural, as fluid, as spiritual as what we are. I hope this knowledge will help you to understand yourself. And the more you study your history and know it better, the better you understand yourself and your behavior. Even the relationships, the people that you're interacting with, those people that you deem to be closer to you, and what it is all based on your ancestral DNA that is intrinsically trenched in you. Your career, you love for certain things, you hate it for certain. I don't like this, I don't like this. I love that, I love that. Based on what? Who taught you to love this and hate that? Who taught you to appreciate that and disdain that? We are all wired in the past. We're living in the present.
Shade to that. That's powerful. Let's give Shangambiri a round of applause. And I think what he said in there brings me back. We've already established the code. I mistakenly broke a code. I'll blame Opadele and Brother Papan for that. I think we all need some training in Shangambiri. We are all as
You're in the belly of the beast.
Well, and I think we're doing a pretty good job in resisting some of that. But the second exploration you gave us about your ancestral lineage, what now, Western science might be calling epigenetic memory. I love everything you said, because now it takes us now to explore the word, what does intelligence mean? Because again, in our current understanding is like, oh, maybe you've read 1,000 books, written a PhD, and then now you're intelligent. Yeah? But everything you just said there, and it's just you, because you studied the
and I've done that.
Right. So was that just your intelligence? How does the African perspective change our understanding of what intelligence is and can be?
So a young child who is living in a village in Ife, from Torashanga, or Lubida Tongo, in Zambia, goes to school. What year was Hitler born? When did the war of Napoleon begin? Which year did Vasco da Gama cross into India? You collect all the dates. And the teacher gives you an examination. Which year did Vasco da Gama? Which year Napoleon Bonaparte? Which year did Hitler? If you can remember those dates, you're a graduate. Because you can remember birthdays. You can remember dates. You're educated. You can recite William Shakespeare, on the summit of the height, where on the winds swept and legions grow, only led by the burning lights. Watches the plains below, on the highest rocky waves, dim lit by the golden streaks of dawn. And he, a patient sentinel, shouts boom to the offended sky to show that all is well. A white-fish eagle sails along, its mighty pinions humping tune, till dawn throbs with alien songs, till we come back to meet again. Will you go hunt, my lord? Hunt what? Hunt the heart. Music be the food of love. Play on, play on. Give me excess of it. That's suffocating. That might sicken my appetite and so die. When my own eyes saw Olivia first, methought she perched the air of the pestilences. So you memorize dictions of literature, which is the echelon of British culture, the Victorian. And thus, when you go hunt, my lord, hunt what? Hunt the heart. You know, and we sit around the classrooms and we argue. No, will you go hunt the heart? The heart is the rabbit. Will you go hunting is, and then we say, you know, a graduate of English literature, history, and poetry. Is this man really educated? Because he can memorize dates. And by the way, if you cannot remember these dates, if you cannot remember these dates, you are down. Our educational institution of the colonial West has measured intelligence based on recitation. Here is a young boy in the village who failed to remember the dates of Hitler. Show him a footprint of a lion on the bush. He will tell you how old is this lion and whether it is sick, it is injured, or it is healthy. Show him the cow dung of his cow. He will tell you whether this is a stomach problem, it is sick, or it is healthy. Show him the movement of the clouds. He will show you it will rain in a week from now, or it will not rain. Take him to the river. When he looks at the bird nests that are hanging across the river, he can tell we are in the depth of ancestral intelligence. Please, I'm not going to come back to it because I know you're colonially circumcised. So even when I move away from your normal, you're still going to be waiting. So what did he say about ancestral intelligence? Listen carefully. Take him to the river. He can see that last year the birds made their nests closer to the water. That meant that we had no rain. This year, the nests are further up. There will be lots of rain because the river will flood. A boy who can interpret the positioning of the nests of the birds on the riverbed can tell you the weather pattern, microclimatology. He can understand, looking at nature. Intelligence, therefore, it is not memorization of dates, but interpretation of environment. Ecological intelligence is a doorway to cosmic consciousness. No, they're clapping hands. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Ecological intelligence is the understanding, the knowledge of how your ecology is structured, your environment is structured. Cosmic consciousness is the ability to move this backward, present, and forward, and be able to start making a decision. Consciousness, therefore, says, I know that my ancestors are under the ground. And if they are under the ground, the trees, the grass, the ants, the rabbits, the butterflies that are walking on the ground, they're eating from them. Therefore, when I see them walking around me, I'm not just seeing birds. I'm not just seeing butterflies. I'm not just seeing these, but I'm seeing signals, data signals, impulses of ancestral communication from the past where they are, which is the present with me now. I'm able to see two chickens fighting in my doorstep and tell you that visitors are coming. Now that's some serious shit. Pardon my language. You pardon me for that, yeah? I'm coming from you, I'll go back, but I come back. But if a grand woman can sit in the village and see two chickens fighting He says, take one of them and kill it. Visitors are coming. And I'm not lying to you, before sunset,
Yes.
we will be having visitors here. How did they know that when this and this, I mean, I'm telling you guys, Africans, we had enough time. Time to study even the fighting of chickens and interpret it into intelligence. Now, that's not a joke. That's knowledge. Only to walk up to the government and they call that the Witchcraft Act.
Yeah. Wow. Shangambiri, I think the clapping, maybe I'll speak for everyone else, but if I speak wrongly, please feel free to admonish me. I think it's just the knowledge hits, you know. Look at your faces. Sometimes they're just there like that, you know, and you drop these profound statements, these phrases that I believe hit people. So in order to get them out of the silence, we make noise. And that noise is in veneration of your wisdom. So thank you very much. We're going to move again because you said so much, and we're going to now start picking. Because clearly, we're not going to find African intelligence only in a book, right? What do you have to say for those of us who, as of now, our ancestral intelligence has been repackaged as superstition? It will surprise you how many African/Black people I meet because of the work I do. Oh, I had this dream and this dream was this. Okay, let me refer you to someone to go and interpret it. Oh, no. None of that demonic, that witchcraft stuff. So where do we go for those who can't see their ancestral reflections because it's been rebranded as superstitious witchcraft?
I'm so glad that the white man cannot put his head around the black man. I'm using that very loosely. Just when they think that they understand the species, it changes into something else. When they get there, they discover these guys are on the other end. We are a mystery of study. Because our world is not just physical, our world is cosmical. Our world is anatomy, our world is spiritual, and in the depth of that, our interpretation of our reality is not as platonic and basic. I brought a cow and I gave you and I walked away. No. What is the color of the cow? What does it represent? And why? And who? And etc. And then those layers of interpretation give the African person a whole different perspective. I come to your question.
Oh, you already on it. Please carry on.
Dig deep into it. The African spiritual person understands 4 dimensions of his existence. Number 1, me, what you see, which is the physical. I don't need to say anything. Just me that I see, you see. Me see, you see. Physical or female. But after you've confirmed what you see, African spirituality says there's more that you cannot see. And in terms of the... So, you may be thinking that you're talking to a man or a woman, but no. I, for example, up to now, I'm going for 60 years now, if not 57, 58. I still don't have a name. My grandfather gave me his name and then put the surname of his grandfather on me. So I still am a mysterious person. I'm still trying to find myself also. I'm looking forward to a day when I will have a name. I am an unnamed object which is floating amongst you, carrying names of those that have. So Moponga is my grandfather's name. Marara is his name. Munyoki is his grandfather's name. Changambire is my grandfather's name. Sose is my royal clan name. So the other day I woke up in my intellectual gymnasium and I said, so who are you? Because no, when I come from the West, with the individual, me. So who am I in this whole equation? I went to bed very sad, discovering actually you are a UFO and an unidentified floating object. Because up to now, I still don't have something that I can say, this is me, like me. Because everything that I've identified with is those that have come before me. Having said that, we come up to where we begin to interact with objects, with elements that are outside of us while we are still trying to find ourselves. Painful that the African child in a colonial system, in a Western hegemony, is trying to identify themselves before they can define themselves. Then you're a coconut, brown on the outside, white on the inside. Well, the software of our interpretation is not Afrocentric, but Eurocentric. This then affects the entire interpretation of our existence. I come back to your question of asking me exactly how would I begin to interpret and look into my essence of being, to define me within the space in which I'm living. I cannot help it to say the definition of me is artificial. The definition of you is artificial. It's what people will accept. It's what people understand that you are. But if should you sit with yourself to find out who you are, maybe you are not what you think and what they say you are. And within our own African cultural spirituality, the depth of being is not defined by external definitions of who the world wants us to be. And hence I've always had a problem. People come to me, of course, academically, so I'm well proliferated and well educated in earthly terms. And I've been to school, I've been to universities, I've written research papers and been conferred degrees and etc. I also know what it means to baccalaureate, super cum laude, magna cum laude. I know that junk.